we were targeted. If you're targeted because the way you look, your appearance, your beliefs, we were being targeted, our people were being massacred, we were facing a genocide.
Violence that was perpetrated against innocent Canadian lives is something we all denounce.
What if I told you that one of Canada's most prominent politicians has been caught fraternizing with extremists? The evidence is damning, and it's time for Canadians to wake up. In the next few minutes, you'll discover the alarming truth about Jagmeet Singh's alleged extremist connections. Can Canada afford to ignore these revelations any longer? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. Costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Concern has been raised throughout Canada by Jagmeet Singh's attendance at a rally in California in 2015. Amid a sea of contentious images, Singh took center stage at the event, which was teeming with pro-Khalistani enthusiasm. In support of separatist leaders like Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale, whom India considers a pivotal figure in the movement for an independent Sikh state, attendees raised banners and waved flags. Singh's involvement, however, continued after that. He appears to support calls for a separate Sikh homeland, as evidenced by his attendance at several pro-Khalistani gatherings.
What we've just learned today in the House is something that shocks the safety and security that so many Canadians rely on. I want to share with you what this means to the Sikh community. I grew up hearing many stories that if you raise concerns about human rights violations in India, that you might be denied a visa. It is outrageous, it is shocking, and it is going to have deep and devastating impacts to Canadians.
Many Canadians have begun to wonder where Singh's real allegiances lie as a result of this pattern of behavior. Is there a secret agenda at work here, or is he genuinely fighting for human rights? The NDP leader has only fueled the flames by refusing to denounce Talwinder Parmar, the suspected mastermind of the 1985 Air India bombing that killed 331 people. Singh's position has drawn criticism for demonstrating a risky tolerance for extremism.
Air India was the worst terrorist attack in the history of our country.
The glorification of Talwinder Parmar when he's the mastermind of the Air India bombing?
The inquiry identified specifically Talwinder Singh Parmar, and I accept the findings of the investigation of the inquiry. I accept them and I condemn all those responsible.
I don't know who was responsible, but I think we need to find out who's truly responsible.
How is it possible for a prospective prime minister to remain silent about such a terrible act of terror? Singh's team has made a valiant effort to defend his actions by saying that he is only defending Sikh rights. However, in light of growing evidence, their statements seem hollow. The 2015 rally was not an isolated incident. Rather, it was a part of a concerning trend that points to deeper connections to extremist organizations. Singh is the leader of a significant political party in Canada, and his ties to these divisive movements are extremely concerning. Given his strong ties to a separatist cause, how can he effectively represent all Canadians? It is impossible to overlook the tension between his leadership of the NDP and his seeming support for Khalistani extremists. However, Singh's involvement in this network of extremism extends far beyond his attendance at a few rallies, so hold on to your seats. What follows will cause you to reevaluate all of your preconceived notions about one of Canada's most well-known politicians.
Leftist sentiment of feeling for the Sikh community that they were being painted collectively and being punished collectively for the acts of some individuals. We're traumatized Canadians. It's hurtful. I think it's also important, though, to keep in mind the context that the Sikh community has been the subject of a genocide, of violence. In that context, there are some people in the community that don't accept the official record, that question the official record.
India drops a bombshell just when you thought Singh's contentious relationships couldn't get any more explosive. One of Canada's leading politicians has been shut out of the largest democracy in the world. What on earth could Singh have done to deserve such a harsh reaction? Jagmeet Singh's political reputation has suffered greatly as a result of the Indian government's decision to bar him from entering the nation. Singh is viewed by India as a dangerous individual who is advancing a separatist agenda that jeopardizes the country's unity. This is a strong indication that India sees Singh as a major danger to their sovereignty, not just a small diplomatic dispute. However, this is where the interesting part begins. Singh has dedicated his professional life to advocating for social justice and human rights. He's the one who constantly talks about fighting oppression and defending the weak. How, then, does he reconcile accusations of backing extremist organizations with that image? Many Canadians have been perplexed by this contradiction. This ban's repercussions are sweeping across Canadian politics like wildfire. Our relationship with India, a significant economic partner, is currently in a very precarious state. When one of our top politicians is viewed as an enemy of their state, how can we continue to have close ties? Prime Minister Trudeau is under tremendous pressure as a result of this diplomatic nightmare. This controversy is giving Conservative leaders a field day. Never one to pass up a chance, Pierre Poilievre has been relentlessly criticizing Singh and the Trudeau administration. He is claiming that they are undermining Canada's reputation internationally and is demanding answers. You can bet that this problem won't be resolved anytime soon, especially with an election approaching. In relation to elections, this controversy may have far-reaching effects on voters. Voters in Canada are beginning to pose some challenging queries regarding Singh's actual allegiances. Is he truly capable of being the head of a significant political party? Can we rely on someone with such contentious ties to make choices that impact the whole country?
I know that the work of this committee may not look good on the Liberals and on their inaction. It may not look good on Justin Trudeau and the Liberals. Specifically, as the Prime Minister said, Conservative parliamentarians that are connected to foreign interference coming from the Indian government. We've seen both parties put their parties ahead of the country. I believe a leader needs to put the country first. So we'll continue to fight hard to make sure we are protecting Canadians, we are protecting our democracy, we are keeping people safe.
The skepticism is not limited to ardent Conservatives. Singh's purported extremist affiliations are causing anxiety even among some ardent NDP supporters. They are concerned about how this affects Canada's reputation overseas and whether it could damage our ties with other countries. One crucial question still stands as this controversy intensifies. What are Singh's real allegiances? Does he have a secret agenda, or is he devoted to representing all Canadians? The answers to these questions have the power to completely alter Canadian politics. It is impossible to overlook the evidence that connects Jagmeet Singh to Khalistani extremists. Singh's actions, which range from his attendance at pro-separatist rallies to his refusal to denounce terrorists, present a concerning image. This dispute is a serious crisis that has the potential to change Canadian politics, not just a small political blip. The ramifications of Singh's purported connections are extensive. The tenuous relationship between Canada and India jeopardizes important business alliances. Even devoted supporters of the NDP are beginning to doubt Singh's judgment as voter confidence in the party declines. This scandal might be the final nail in Singh's political coffin as election season approaches. In light of these shocking accusations, is Jagmeet Singh able to save his career? Although the answer is still unknown, one thing is certain: politics in Canada will never be the same. It will become clear in the upcoming months whether Singh can withstand this setback or if his contentious relationships will ultimately lead to his demise.